Alrighty. We're just going to give it a few minutes now for things to kind of get rolling, people to start coming in. I got 15 already. Holy cow, that's great. All right. Tyranceranius, Cats, Ragfire, Ghost Armory, Iron Gopher, Grim Reaper. Awesome. Well, welcome aboard, everybody. Okay, let's turn it up a little bit. How's that? Are we too loud now? Is doing a little volume test. Test, check, etc. We sounding all right out there? Good, cool. Nice, excellent. Okay, 19 people, fantastic. We'll give it about 2 more minutes or so, and we will start doing things. I think we will start actually. Any questions? I've gotten a few random questions here and there from various sources. Does anybody have any questions they would like addressed here and now, live for the conversation? Clarifications, what ifs, things like that. If you've got any concerns like that, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We'll give it a few minutes, and then we will start addressing things before we start tearing into the actual discussion here. I say discussion, and it'll be kind of a discussion. I hope it's a bit of a discussion. Now, I assume you can see the mouse cursor on the screen here as we're doing stuff. Just because as we're looking at blasters and pictures and stuff, I might want to poke at and draw lines on and around and things like that, and that'll make it much more beneficial if you can actually see the thing that I'm pointing at. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Well, we'll officially begin. Bloop. Alright. Tyranceranius, am I actually pronouncing your name right? I always say it that way in my head, and it never sounds like that's the way it should sound, but if that's the way it's supposed to sound, then that is fine by me, and I will get used to it. But to address your question, how many of these sort of live streams will there be during the span of the contest? I would like to do them every couple of weeks. It really depends on what the developments are across the spread of the competition itself as far as the entries. Right now I think we have 23, somewhere entries so far, and this is 2.5 weeks in. And so, and I know of a few other people that have mentioned them wanting to start a project here, but they'll be starting like a month in or about halfway through and stuff like that. So we'll be having a decent pile of them. And so as people develop their projects, then there'll be updates. Right now it's more of an introduction, especially a clarification Q&A kind of thing. That's kind of my main goal, and also to introduce the spreadsheet, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think. In fact, there's a link in the description right now, at least there better be, and if there's not, then I will address that. But we'll be talking about that here in a moment. What happens if you end up with the... sorry. I'd like to do them every 2 weeks or so. If there's like a spread where there's like I only get one update, people are in kind of a weird lull, especially in the middle. I imagine there's going to be, kind of a dead space between. I guess I know very few people who can just drop in, start a project, and just crank it out to the end. There's usually kind of lulls and ebbs and flows in creativity and stuff like that, and even just scheduling that allows you to be able to do stuff. And so if there's a whole lot of action, then we might do, 2 weeks back to back. If there's a whole lot of nothing, we might let it slide for 3 weeks. But I'm figuring about every 2 weeks or so, give or take. It depends on how the weeks fall. I would like to do some kind of update just to keep people who are not involved directly in the competition to kind of be able to get a feel for what the overall development is. With so many entries we have, so many people competing, it'd be nice to have kind of a common area where all of the information is shared, which is what the spreadsheet's all about. But also here, that way you're not having to follow 30 different people on Instagram and Facebook and being in the Discord all the time and seeing stuff like that. So that is my goal. Average about every other week or so. And I will definitely post like I did this week, at the top of the week when I know that it's going to be a stream week. Then I'll let you know and we'll schedule it, and it'll be posted in the Discord and my medias and stuff. Jolt King, what happens if you end up being unable to finish your project before the deadline? Well, you can always compete in the unofficial fourth category of opportunist, which is you're building a thing because you're being involved in the camaraderie of building cool stuff, even if you don't get to have your thing judged. So it's not like you lose, it's just you don't get to be judged necessarily, but your stuff will still be shared. I mean, if people I'll be covering stuff here, and when I do after the competition, after the judging, after the votes are in, after the awards are dealt out, all that kind of stuff, I'm going to do a follow-up stream that's going to be basically opinions, like, I guess, personal opinions where I can be more biased and frank with my opinions on things, because I want to address everything as the streams go along, as things are developing. I want to be slightly unbiased as much as possible in my observations of things, and then once the competition's over, then I can come through and be like, okay, from a totally, this is my opinion as a person, not my opinion as an organizer of the event. Then I want to be able to cover stuff and talk about things, and that'll definitely, if you don't get your project done, I still want to talk about it, for sure. It just won't be officially judgeable, I guess. Camerick, thank you for getting my name on the list in such short notice. Yes, I have a wonderful assistant who volunteered to help me out with this competition, which is great because he is much more tech savvy than I am, and I am not at all. And so he came along and said, hey, let me do really cool things. And I said, dang it, that would be fantastic. So that is totally not me, that is totally him. Grim Reaper, I can dip in with 8 hours of work in 5 minutes. I'm just lazy right now. Yeah, I believe you. Cats, just Vile, Gopher, and Grim and Gestalt. So far, yes, that is how things are looking right now. I assume that means you've pulled up the spreadsheet. So I will do the same in the link, which is in the chat and also in the description, and it's also going to be shared on the Discord and probably in the follow-up posts, my media posts. I'll put a link to it as well, if possible, for this guy. It is the spreadsheet. and it has all the information that is up to date as much as possible. I mean, reasonably possible, I guess. But it has all the contenders currently, and we'll just start. Move over there. So it has all the contenders. Everything is a clickable link that'll take to an individual page, more or less, that has everybody. We'll just start here at the top. Click on Naptown, gives you this link. Click the link, gives you who it is, social links, YouTube link, Instagram link. These things will be updated as projects progress. We were requested, will blasters who have canonical lore attached to them be shared as well? And I said, well, I will share any information that's given. And so, in the end, this is what is going to be accessible when the final voting comes. And this will be accessible all the time, and it'll be updated all the time as information comes in, as new people enter, and as people develop their projects and change gears and switch things around or whatever they want to do. It'll be updated here as quick as we can, reasonably. And as blasters get names, this will be updated. Description as far as what blasters are used, bonus features and things like that. Special things where they have gimmicks or special things to look at or whatever, things that you won't necessarily know looking at just a picture. All that information will be here. And then on this end, good heavens. I hope that's not coming in through, but dog's got a squeaky toy and is trying to get my attention, so if that is coming through the chat or through the stream, I apologize. That is a poppins. Starting photos, excuse me for a minute. Can I have that? Oy. Okay. Kids. Yeah, blaster pictures. The starting photo is going to be what was submitted. That all entries are supposed to have the picture of the blasters they're starting with, or at least ideally starting with, and the date they started and all this kind of stuff. That'll start here, and then all the progress will scroll below, and then technically you'll see the project develop all the way through. You get to the bottom of the page, you'll have the final picture, which will match this one here. So you get basically a full context of the story of the blaster, and that'll be what each page will consist of. And then when we do the final voting at the end of April, then you can come through here. You'll have your quick reference of, oh, this was Naptown's thing. It was the blaster that looks like this, and it was called this. Cool. Okay, that's right. You'll be able to refresh your memory on everything else that you've been seeing for the last 3 months, and then when we finally get the voting thing figured out, then we'll have that as a link available, and then you can make your decisions from there. The voting will not be part of the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is only a visual reference for to keep things in context. This will also be maintained past the competition. We'll archive it somewhere to where it can be kind of a repository of information for just inspiration and stuff like that. I was noticing that with the previous MergeMasters and stuff, there's not much of competitions. There's not much information available except for people's individual posts, which is kind of a bummer because there's a lot of stuff I looked for and could not find. Grim Reaper, this is neatly done. Yes, I was blown away at how well this came out. So that again, that is not me doing this. Joshua Adam, I'll move to Gestalt class this weekend. Okay, sounds great. Yeah, just update your email and we'll get that adjusted and updated. Oh boy. Yes, dogs. Dogs. Yes, that's we have 100% more dog in the house than last time I streamed. And we all know how dogs work. You don't get to just double the dog. Dogs grow exponentially when you add more. Grim Reaper, call you Grim for short. That is fine. I will do that, Mr. Grim. Okay, so we'll start with Naptown, just because we're already here. Starting with a old Kenner crossbow and a strife, a minimized, well, not minimized, a half-length strife, cut down through the magwell. And he did cover this on a video last week. Was it last week? Feels like it was last week. On kind of what his plans were as far as how he's going to make the cuts ideally and what his intentions were with it. And of course, you can probably find that easily by clicking this link here. Boom, just like that. And be able to catch that video. And like I said, all updates should, you know, next submission or any updates he makes here will be accessible as well. Is there any, and what I'd like to do is take, you know, we're going to go down blaster by blaster through everything, pull up their thing, introduce them a little bit, and please, if you have questions or speculations, that's one thing I want to add to the competition here through these streams, is for people to kick ideas around, even if it's not obviously what's going to happen here, just throw ideas of like, oh, it'd be cool if you did this, or that's an interesting combination of things to do, or oh, I hadn't thought about that, oh, it'd be cool if you did this. Things like that. It'd be great to have that in the chat also, there again, is a resource. And just to promote discussion and excitement and stuff like that. So we'll just let everybody kind of hang out and look at this for a minute, and then we'll move on to the next one. We'll back it up. Boom. Go to this guy. Cats, Blaster Mods. Click. Okay, I believe you sent in a... I don't know if I just saw it in an update in the Discord or if you actually emailed it, but I know I saw where you added the stock, and so that's... I'm not going to talk about that too much here because it'll be difficult to explain, but you do have this going in an interesting direction, not quite what I was expecting, which is actually really cool. There again, Cats Blaster Mods Instagram, and a Twitch stream. Okay, that was earlier today. Okay, it's been a weird couple of days, so I apologize for... I've been seeing things, but don't necessarily have the context of when things happened. But like I said, we'll try to get that updated as quickly as we reasonably can. And as I recall, it was a Retaliator with a crossbolt stock, but the stock had been augmented with the modulus stock, I believe, if I'm going by memory. But just some of the implementation, just how things fit, was what I would say brow-raising, which is a term that'll come up later sometime. We'll discuss that when the time comes. If anybody has any comments or observations, speak now, or we'll move to the next one. Cats, the ECS-10 stock mostly, with some bits from the regulator stock. Okay. Yeah, because you had a kind of a piece added to the top of the magwell, I believe, but it wasn't this piece, or maybe something else. But yeah, that's... I'm excited for the next stream, which will have the updated pictures and everything, because that was definitely something that I looked at and went, hey now, that's worth talking about. So we will hop out. Oh, I can click update. Update. Where is update? Whoa! Holy cow, look at that. See, that's how quick things can happen around here. So can I need to reshape things here. Hang on a second while I bring that up like... Oh, do I need to go a little bit more? Nope. I've done terrible things. Okay. Yeah, I like... Okay, I had that backwards. So yeah, you've got the regulator stock thing here, which leaves a little window here, the way this fits, for the mag release button, which is a nice feature. Which, if anybody played with the crossbolt very much, you know that as soon as you shoulder this thing, it drops your mag out on your foot, which is embarrassing, and also leaves you open to attack. So this little extension here makes the crossbolt stock more comfortable, and this little cutout here makes a nice little protected cubby for the mag release. And reversing this piece here, bridging the two shells, kind of makes this a nice, natural, flowing line. Naptown, next video of my project will be out Sunday morning, just FYI. Excellent. I will be there. So yes, as you just saw, things are updated regularly. Thanks, Alex, for getting that updated lickety-split. But yes, as stuff comes in, we'll try to get these updated. So if you check today and you say, hey, I had a picture posted or whatever, and it's not there, chances are it'll be there later. And if it's not and you're concerned, go ahead and send another email and being like, hey, did you forget about me? And we'll try to get you taken care of. So we'll hop back. And Wizard Builds 207. Click. Okay. This is a... Oh gosh, what the heck's that thing called? Was this the Insanity or the super duper whatnot big guy? Newer-ish X-Shot Blaster. Chain guy got a Fate, question mark, that looks like it's rebarreled for Mega XL, which is great, because I like Mega XL. Okay, Cats, you had more pictures. Okay, sorry, we'll work on updating the update. And I recall in the email that Wizard sent, he mentioned how this is going to be put together, and I can't recall offhand how that was. He kind of explained, like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have this way. And I remember going, oh, hey, that's pretty cool. And I'll have to pull that up, and we can update stuff there again. Might not update that kind of information here, especially when it's speculation on the things that I would like to do as a builder. We will go from there and see what we can handle. Like I said before, there's getting to be a whole lot more contenders and entries than I was honestly expecting, and so this became borderline overwhelming very quickly. So if there's not as much information as you might like to see, we'll see how next round goes as far as like the next competition we do, because I would like to make this a semi-regular thing. Try to get that dialed in a little bit tighter, but I'm just thrilled to death with how this is coming together. Thanks again, Alex, for taking care of that. And happy birthday, Cats. I got one of those coming up myself, so happy birthday, neighbor. Hope you're having a good one. Froststorm. Ah, yes. This is that Busby, was it the Belt Blaster? Is that what they called that? I can't remember what it's called, but I've had one kicking around for a while, and I've always thought, you know, it'd be cool to do something with it, but the shell detail is so unique. It's kind of slab-sided, fairly flat, not a whole lot of greebles and stuff like that, and so I've not been able to find a good shell that matches with it, and so I'm really excited to see how this project goes, because I've wanted to see one of these turned into something. But we've got a barrel from what the heck was that? That's one of the new Elite 2.0 blasters, I think. Here, an extension, got a retaliator. Looks like a muzzle brake thing from a generic off-brand toy blaster of some kind. Looks like this would be a good opportunity to go bullpup with it. You got a nice little bit of space here and kind of a boxy looking shell back here, but I'm not sure if that's where they're going with it. Terran. Just saw on the spreadsheet, thought I was going to be in Gestalt. It's fine. It'll be tied around 5 or 6. Nope, and that's fine. A lot of this stuff, because especially since a lot of people, as they build, their build is going to look different than the initial pile of blasters that they used. So yeah, if you're concerned about where you stand with what shells you have, you're not locked in or anything, and if we need to move you, then we can totally move you. So yeah, if you're concerned with that, I think there's a couple. In fact, when I was chatting with Alex and we were getting things dialed in, and he's like, "Okay, this looks like this, but I'm not sure," and that might have been yours. But yeah, we'll make sure that once it counts, then we'll definitely make sure that everybody's in the right spot. So go ahead and poke me if you need to, if we need to get that adjusted as we go along. Helena Snyder, I'm Kat's sibling. We're playing Risk. Awesome. A little birthday Risk. Well, glad to have you too. Okay. Jump back. Jolt King 627. This is a... oh, gosh, I can't remember what they called this one. The rival post-Chronos Edge? Is that what they called that? One of our locals has one of these that he's hot-rodded a little bit, and I can't remember what the heck the thing's called, so I apologize. But we got that guy in a Centurion barrel, and the back of... I'm drawing a blank. That's not a Swift, is it? But I think, did you send me another updated Iron Gopher, Edge Mercury? Excellent, thank you. Thank you for the correction. Jolt King confirms that is a Swift. Awesome. That is going to be interesting. Christiana Lawson, you sound nice. Well, I am nice. At least I've been told that I'm nice. So thank you. But I know Jolt King is going to be a stiff contender. Check out his Instagram and YouTube here. Always something quirky. Was very much known for jank and hot glue builds, but something happened and he started making just incredibly crisp, clean, awesome-looking things. So you did not send updates. Maybe I saw them somewhere else, or maybe I saw something else entirely. Okay. Oh, actually, that might have been our local guy. Like I said, one of our locals was building one of these. It might have been one of his pictures that he sent that I was thinking of. But, like I said, I don't doubt that this will be noteworthy. So it'll be interesting to see how that progresses. And I think this is the first contender I've seen, or first entry so far that I've seen that uses like a third-party shell involved in there. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Because I'm not familiar with how the worker plastic reacts with epoxies and things. So, interesting. Better call Serge, if he's in, or somebody who knows him is in, and want to make a correction on that, then let me know. We're going to do kind of a real quick, is audio still all right? I'm kind of getting into things, and so if I'm talking quiet and getting all methodical and whimsical or whatever, let me know to speak up. I'm getting a bit more pondery and stuff. So if I drift off, say, hey, speak up. And if I'm talking too loud, let me know. So we've got a pretty serious pile of stuff here, and it's always interesting when you see a picture, I mean, not necessarily in the competition environment, but just people that are like, hey, I'm going to make an integration. And they have this giant pile of stuff, and it's like, well, that could be the main blaster, that could be the main blaster, that could be the main blaster, that could be the front, but it could also be the stock. That could be, are we looking at using the front end here? Are we just using the greebly things? Are we just using the scope? I don't know. This is just rife with possibility. Blaster at arms, pronounced Surge. All right. Thank you very much. Better call Surge. I'm making that mental correction now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what pieces of each of these large blasters becomes what. If this is going to be like a multiple firing mode, so you have like the majority of the functional components of a series of blasters stuck together, or are, you know, is only one going to be functional and the other are all going to be, you know, aesthetic modifications. It's going to be interesting. Definitely another one to watch out for. Tusks. Okay, that's all we got so far. This is an interesting one. Alpha Trooper and a rough cut. And I believe he's got a home-built bolt sled or something like that. But yeah, a lot of kind of kooky stuff going on in there. That's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I've seen a lot of like rough cuts grips integrated into hammer shots and things like that, but not something of this profile. This is going to be a very interesting build to see how this turns out. And judging by the posts he's made within the Discord, it's going to be hitting pretty hot as well. See if we can put a little bit of zoom on that. How is the quality of the stream for everybody as far as the actual visual? I know this is a mostly visual event here. Are the pictures big enough to be appreciable, or is it kind of like looking at a postage stamp? There's not a whole lot I can do right away, besides just doing this, which is going to come into play a whole lot more with in future videos or future live streams once people have a whole lot more progress in their builds, to where it's going to be like, okay, now let's take a deeper look at this. Then we'll be zooming in and we'll be drawing stuff, and Alex has got me set up with the whiteboard thing so that we can, you know, make notes and draw and speculate on stuff like that, which is going to be awesome. But this first one is more of a Q&A with speculation and more of just a formal introduction to the competition itself, especially for people who were not involved and had no experience with the Reddit competitions, which I do have a video planned for. I want to try to get it out before the next live stream. That's basically an introduction to what the MergeMasters competition was and what I've done to bring it back, for just an introduction, like I said, to people who don't know what that meant. Okay, we're going to dial this back a little bit. Click. Good even on a phone. Well, that's quite a compliment. Audio and video good on my end. Good on a phone. Excellent. Next stream should be both Twitch and YouTube. Yes, we are working on dialing that in. And we'll have a few special announcements by then. In fact, we'll probably have a special announcement at the end of this one, and then another cool one at the end of the next one. So, but yeah, then the next one will be on Twitch. We're going to work on that over the next week or two, try to get that all figured out. Because I have zero experience with Twitch, but Alex assures me that that's where all the hip kids hang out. So, Dr. Dylan. I assume it's Dylan and not like Dylan. I'm going to say Dylan, and if that's incorrect, you can correct me. And we got a cute little one here, double shot, and a... Oh, shoot, this was the... not the Pink Crush, it was the other one that was like Star something or whatever, had a little flip-up sight, and potential for a bigger plunger tube, stuff like that. Now, I can speculate and say, oh, well, if I had this combination, I would probably just take this shroud here and put her over the top of this, but, you know, that may or may not be the case. If it is, I think that'll look pretty sharp. But we'll see how things go. Starlight? Starlight, really? That doesn't... I had one for a minute, and then one of our locals was like, hey, have you ever seen one of those? And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't really want to get rid of it, but I did because I was not using it, and he wanted to, so. CSG21, when can you do more mods? Well, that is an interesting question, which might merit its own video sometime in the future if I'm feeling up to it. And also feeling up to it is part of the catch. It might be a little bit. I am not super sure when that's going to happen. If it was a matter of just saying, yes, I want to, so I will do, then I would be doing, but yeah, I'm going to turn that into a video, I think, because it's going to involve a little bit of explanation of stuff. But as soon as I can, I will say I will do more mods when I can, and I'll leave it at that for now. I just finished an old strong arm drop clip mod, painted it last night. Awesome. It's a nice little sidearm. Okay. But yeah, Dr. Dylan. This could be a nice one. In fact, just kind of eyeballing just a little curve off here, and the curve off here. You could probably tuck that in. You just have basically where the back of the grip is here, tie it to the back of the grip here, and have a similar arc so you're not having anything get in the way of the hammer action. Huh. Okay. Naptown, Starshot. I thought, wasn't the Starshot that weird, goofy thing that shot stickers or whatever? That big bulbous white thing? I don't know, man. Starlight is a charity, so I'm having that one mixed up. Yeah, cannot remember. It's right there, but at the very least, there's a lot of potential here. I like that, and it's interesting here because usually the barrel sticks out, and I believe it's got a faux barrel or maybe it's dart storage below that kind of fills this in. But with that barrel assembly missing, this little line here stands out more, and that's kind of interesting. Interesting. Lightning Eagle 14, hello yourself. Mildly derpy, really got to get started on my submission, basic hammer shot grip integration. Awesome, sounds great. Yeah, just get that put in and get that started and yeah, get your email submitted and we'll get it updated. Tate. Let's go over here. So we got a long shot. We have a Demolisher Hamp, got a Sledgefire front end, or most of a front end, Sledgefire stock, and a Praxis stock. So we got a little, we got some stock options here. Womp. So yeah, we can assume the hamp will go underneath, but we're not necessarily locking that in. But it's interesting. This is I believe this was the Toys R Us exclusive long shot. That was kind of the elite stripe, but not actually elite performance or anything like that. Well, I think I hacked on mine, flat topped it and stuff like that, and people were like, "Oh, I can't believe you cut that one up. It's super rare," or something. And yeah, it seems like people get excited when people cut on this, so it's kind of interesting to see. But I have no doubt it'll be vastly improved by the end of the competition here. And that's all we got here. So interesting here. Like, okay, we got two stocks. So is it going to be like a combination of the two, or is it kind of like a toss-up? I'm thinking about using this, thinking about using that. It'll be interesting to see how this develops. Okay, I assume this is Dr. Eichel. Here again, if I am incorrect, feel free to correct me. I don't take offense to it when I don't know how to say something. Dunk. Got some snipe action here and long strike. Which that looks like that fits in there quite nicely. And I guess this thing might line up well enough with the plunger tube, because as I recall, when you prime that kind of hangs out the back a little bit, so you might still be able to utilize this area here, the back of the long strike thing. I'm just going to back out a little bit. Man, basic is packed. Yes. In fact, Alex and I were talking about that this morning, or not this morning, just when we were gearing up for the stream, that it's nice that basic is loaded pretty good, and then as you progress through the levels of difficulty through the different classes, then it kind of, the amount of entries kind of cuts back a little bit, so it's not loaded at the top. Boy, lots of dog noises today. I do have to appreciate, side note, the, what the heck is it called? It's a Busby hamp cylinder thing being used for holding tools. I've always had a V8 distributor cap on my desk for holding screwdrivers and stuff like that, so this is much more versatile. CSG21, any suggestions for first integration? Well, this is a great place to ask. In fact, we will probably have a whole lot of people that are willing to give you information and assistance as well. If you're not already in the Discord, go ahead and join the Discord with the link in the description, and just kind of browse around a little bit and get some ideas. Grim Reaper, love seeing everything everyone is making. Might have to steal some ideas. That is what this is all about, which is great. And that is my whole goal, is to just stir up inspiration and get people cooking, get ideas rolling. So that's great. Searing Phoenix, holy cow, it's been a minute, man. How you doing? Not in a place to make an entry, but seeing this comeback is fantastic. Yes. Good to see you. And apparently it's not a good time for you right now, but I intend on making this a semi-regular thing, so feel free to get comfortable, join the Discord, stay updated on things, and maybe enter in the future. Be glad to see what you come up with. Terran's Sidewinder. Yes, Sidewinder. Thank you very much. That giant cylinder drum thing. Searing Phoenix. For the first integration, 2 cheapest blasters you have. That is actually a really good idea. Don't buy brand new blasters for trying integration. definitely go to a thrift store, get them on Craigslist, Facebook Market, stuff like that, and just experiment. Get a feel for how the shells work, how they fit, how the glue works, how how cutting them works, how they fit together, stuff like that. Do a lot of experimenting before you jump into your first real project. Okay, Scruffy Nerf Hoarder. I think I'm going to have to try to speed things up a tiny bit. I don't want to blow past anybody's stuff, but I kind of promised myself I would stay under 2 hours since most of my streams end up being like 3 or 4, which is a lot to swallow. So we are 50 minutes in, and we are almost through the first class, so I might speed things up a tiny bit. So if you have comments to make on things, maybe speak up when the inspiration hits you right away, and don't wait till the end, perhaps. Do we have? Oh yes, we have the updated pictures here. This is an interesting one. When we first posted this, I was like, okay, well, is this a cosmetic thing, or what's going on here? Is he going to utilize the rear loading? And sure enough, he is. So the Conquest Pro, if you know, the magazine fits in the back long ways here, just like that. And so, yeah, dropping the grip down here, leaving this open, kind of makes for an interesting line here visually, but it'd probably be for a mighty comfortable blaster too. And it's kind of nice that the grip up here is now kind of slightly above the main grip, which to me it seems like a lot of pump action blasters, at least not so much anymore. The things are like, especially third-party blasters, are so dang ergonomic. But it used to be like, especially Nerf stuff, the pump grip was like lower, and it always felt awkward when your main hand is here and your other hand's here, so when you prime it, you're kind of pulling down almost. So this one here, where it's slightly above, is a little bit nicer in my opinion. But I'm not an expert. Oh, reload the page. Dang it, man, you were moving quick. Do I need to back up to the previous? Okay. Alex, I reloaded the page, and now things are looking worse. What have I done? Or is that a reload the page from the previous page? Ah! Oh, geez. That's a jump scare. Okay. So it looks like some modification here to the grip. Right here, this is, I think, just eyeballing, lapping over the existing shell. Here it looks like he cut away this stuff here. That looks like the Conquest grip merged together. Okay. And that's... These pictures are big. Thanks for sending big pictures. That means I have to zoom them less. Okay. Nice. Yeah, this one will be very interesting to see how that goes. I've got a picture in my head, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the same picture that he has. Halbrust. So we got a Thunderhawk, Demolisher, Infinis. So there again. Bye guys, gonna chill at the DC server. Alright, well, thanks for showing up, and maybe we'll be seeing you later. Have a good night. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. One can assume that the demolishers here, because we have like redundant flywheelers, so it's like, okay, well, is the demolisher going to be the main firing blaster? Is this being used as the reload? In fact, was that your update today, or who was that that might have been yours that converted the reloading mech to half lengths, which is very interesting. And if that is yours, then yeah, that's going to take some explanation. I would like to see a lot more pictures of that once you get that kind of figured out and dialed in for sure. Then we got a nice Thunderhawk front end, which I really like. And I'd never really held these two blasters up together to see, because I know the Thunderhawk was awfully wide, being a Mega Blaster. And I'm not sure how that... when it first came out, I had an idea of sticking that over a Longshot front end. It ended up being aesthetically overpowering. And so it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Infinus is going to be a stock if time allows. Excellent. Well, that'll be very interesting. Looking forward to see how that works. Blue Wolf Nerf, what's up? Well, good to see you. And Blue Wolf Nerf there is one of our locals. And with any luck, we'll have our event for this month figured out here by the end of the weekend, and we'll have more information for when that's actually going to happen, since we're running out of February very quick. Jeremy Z. Oh, that's right. Yes, I believe you just got yours submitted today. Yes, as a matter of fact, that's the one. Yes, this one sounds like it'll be pretty interesting. In his explanation, there was some Straven stuff going on, front of a long shot, might even be side-loading here. The Mediator front end taking place of the bipod. So this could be very good as well. The Straven, love it or hate it, is still a relatively comfortable and practical build, although not quite in vogue anymore as much, but this sounds like it'll be much, much more than a regular old humdrum garden variety Straven. So this will be very interesting to see how it pans out as well. All right, that was basic, which is funny. It seems not condescending. It was just the best thing I could think of. These are not basic. Even the most basic integration is far from basic as a mod. And so, if I can come up... In fact, Andrew, while you're here, Blue Wolf, I'm still open to using your crazy marketing lingo brain for coming up with better class names. So if you want to take a poke at it sometime, talk to me. Moving on to intermediate. These are slightly more complex combinations. Relaunch to update. Man, Alex, you have been busy. Did I miss anything? Top of the screen, please. I don't know which top of the screen you mean. Am I doing it wrong? So, Alex, you say click relaunch. Is that not this one? Am I doing it wrong? Am I overlooking something? Top right. Ugh. This one that says relaunch. Okay, I never look over here. There's never anything for me. Okay. Sure. Sure. Okay, I'm gonna do this thing again. It's okay, stand by. I gotta figure this out over here. Oh gosh, got a weird screen on my end here. Got it. Okay, stand by. Have a nice chat with your friends in the chat there, and Nope, that's not the one. See, this would be nice if I had some nice music to play in the background to keep you guys occupied for a minute. Over here, clicking on the thing. Find this. Go to. And do that. That's not what I was looking for. Just sing while you reopen. That is a terrible idea. Magic things happen. Hey, that looks good. That looks alright. Okay. Boom. Maybe. Okay, so Alex, you're harping on me to update things. Did I miss anything? Is there anything I need to go back and check on and update first, real quick, before we move on to intermediate? Cats. We'll just check this real quick. Wop. Scroll down, bump, bump. Oh, hey, that's... Alright, so I believe that was the last picture we had. This. Gonna talk about this for a second. This is... I instinctively wanted to find the blaster, because I think I have one actually right there. I can almost see one. I wanted to pick it up and show the camera, but there's not a camera. So I don't have the benefit here. But this is off of a... you mentioned it a while back. It's the little dart tag pistol. Anyway, a super simple little panel off the back of a little rinky-dink pistol thing that just sits so happily here that it's just crossfire. Thank you. I mean, there's a number of other things you probably could have put here, like maybe a flat thing. I mean, you couldn't. It'd be a cool place to put a voltmeter if this wasn't facing the front of the blaster. But that right there, it's just a super simple little detail that is still split down the middle, so it'll open with the shells and everything. But once it's blended in, it'll just look like it lives there, and it's just going to be great. So that's definitely a noteworthy mod. One of those things that's a little thing that has a big impact. There we are. Okay. That's what I recall seeing. So yeah, that tucks in. We still have the benefit of this little cover thing here, but a nice clean line all the way up and over. Turan. Seasons don't fear the reaper. Do the wind, the sun, or the rain. You can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Thank you for a little Blue Oyster Cult. Classic. Perhaps change the basic designation to entry level. Well, even entry level is, well, technically entry level for integrations, but integrations themselves are not really entry level either. So, interesting. But yeah, that's really nice. The crossbolt's kind of a interesting blaster. It has a lot of cool things to offer, but It's not great on its own. It pairs well with other things like we see here where this bulks out the top a little bit, helps it blend in, and also gives you a bit more stock length. Ammo counter then. Ghost Armory. Pleasure finally meeting you, but alas, I have to get back to my 16-hour shift. Ah, shoot. Well, hey, thanks for taking a little break out from your shift and saying hi to us and hanging out for a little bit. Hope the rest of your evening goes well. No, hopefully we'll see you next time. Oh gosh! This is I have not seen this update here. So you're seeing this the same time I am. Interesting. Okay, blending that guy in there. Okay, cool. Filling in those holes. Interesting choice. Okay, blending that line in there, blending that seam. Okay, Epoxy sculpt. Okay, I was wondering because the epoxy sculpt I used was very gray, and this is looking very pink. So I don't know if that was something you added, or if it's a different brand or different grade, whatever they call it. Huh. Interesting. All right, very good. Thank you for having me update that. That was good to see. Okay, is there anybody else that I missed? Anybody else we need to address really quick before we jump into intermediate? Okay, nobody. Zonk. Okay. 360i, or is that 360i? There again. If I need to be corrected, please correct me. So we got a lot going on here. We have a Pathfinder, a Raptor Strike, got a Hyperfire, Long Strike Barrel, and a Double Breach. Lots of options here. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, just, what is that from? That's from the... Is that just the top of the stock bit there? That is very nice how it just kind of rolls in from the back of the Raptor Strike stock and then just caps off right there at the end of this break here. That'll look very natural once it's all together. Excellent. Okay, and merging the Pathfinder grip and the Raptor Strike little handguard. Okay, onto the Hyperfire. Let's back out just a hair. A skosh, if you will, if that's your regional dialect. The heck's that from? That's not from this guy, is it? I'm gonna go up at the top. Not seeing that. Okay. Oh, that's the double breach grip, isn't it? Okay, that. Huh. Okay. Oh, this gotta make me zoom out again. Okay. So Long Strike Barrel is just using the side panel to fill in the gap. Okay, got Pathfinder action there. Raptor Strike on top, question mark. So is this going to be two independent firing modes, or is this aesthetic stuff, or you got some other action going on here? It looks like these systems are going to be separate enough. But if you use your imagination and you imagine this is just kind of a one solid block of blaster stuff, that is still very cool. Got a little bit of detail where this thing kind of chisels out a little bit. And I'm still really digging how this stock just drops off really nice and even and nice. Like it. The upside down Raptor Strike almost forms a carry handle up here, which is kind of cool. Okay, guess he did away with that part. Very interesting. That Pathfinder Master Key. Possibly. That's kind of what it's looking like, but it's interesting where the grip would be, if that's going to be linked somewhere else, or is this Slamfire only, if this thing is even Slamfire. I honestly have no experience with the Pathfinder. But there's a lot of things that I'm seeing so far with this build that I'm really liking. Very good. This is going to be, again, it's going to be one to watch. This will be very interesting to see how this eventually shapes up. No socials, okay. Interesting. So yeah, your only updates on this are going to be here, probably. Gale Wolf X. Tick. Checking the chat. Going to be a close competition. Yes, Alan, this is going to be very interesting to see. Like I've said several times now, I was not expecting nearly this many entries, nor this much new ground, new territory. Yeah, a lot of stuff where you see a pile of blasters and it could go anywhere. And a lot of them are going anywhere. So it's very cool to see, very cool to see. Can someone remind me what the minimum, maximum number of blasters can be integrated together in BASIC? Basic is just 2, I think, or is it 2 to 3? I'll have to check. The rules should be pinned in the Discord if you're in the Discord, and if you're not, hopefully somebody who has fewer windows open currently can pull that up for you. Alex, Hyperfire is dry fit in place. Need to rethink what to do for a handle. Quote from the last image that was from the 360i blaster. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, Gale Wolf X. We have a Strife with a... Is that the Ultra 5? Is that a 5 right there? Oh, what the heck was this thing called? This was the... Not the Sideswipe was the big one. This was the... Okay. And the... Is that the... Not the Buzzsaw, that was something else. Anyway, we've got a Strife here with using the Ultra Blaster, I think just the slide, to fill out the stock area and kind of blend things in and give it a little bit more personality on the left-hand side, which is cool. Cut around the battery door, so that's still accessible. Chopping the nose off. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey. Yes. All right. Flex. Thank you, Andrew. Cat's Blaster Mods got booted out of my Risk game. Oh, sorry. Did you lose Poland or something? Sorry about that. Was that your siblings beat you? Or... I'm liking this. Oh, it keeps going. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm digging what I'm seeing here. I don't know if there's going to be more more added here, if this is going to just be an extension for crazy batteries, or if there's going to be a stock on the end of this, or what's going on. But I do like the front end on this thing. I've got one that I wanted to build based off of a Kayakasaurus mod from like 5-6 years ago or something like that I've just never gotten around to. But I always liked the front end of these things. It was a ballistic ball launching that had a little pull handle on the back that you revved up with a flywheel, like a manual flywheel, and fired them out that way, and it launched about 3 feet. But this will be a much better use for it. But yeah, I'm digging it. This will be a good one, I think. Cats, it's okay. Some of us are not made for global domination, so there's always macrame you could pick up if you need to. Hornetico. There again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'll zoom this back in a little bit. on a second. Let me just address some things here. Okay. Artisan bow tie, Hornetico? Question mark. Good heavens, you dogs. Okay, we got a double punch, which one of our local Walmart had these for $5 for a minute, and so I had one of our men in the field grab one for me, and that thing is ridiculously comfortable. This foregrip is amazing. The main grip is super nice. The stock is laughable, but everything else is great. Super nice trigger, weird punchy barrels. I'm so torn on I want to cut it up and integrate these grips into something and some of these other details, but also the gimmick is great. I just destroyed the flywheel cage when I was trying to fit bigger motors in, only to find out that the flywheels didn't want to play with them. So it's kind of sitting on the shelf now, but oh, that's nice. I'm hoping he's using more of the aesthetic parts of this. Again, sideswipe here, slingfire, nitron. Interesting combination. Okay, no other pictures here. So there again, this leaves us with a very interesting what could be. So it's like, are we assuming this is the main blaster, or is it going to be a functional nitron with a bunch of goofy stuff going on? Is this going to be slingfire being used for the stock, or is it going to be used for some of this paneling detail on the side? Now, where does this guy fit in? So very interesting. Very interesting possibilities here. Mr. Peep. I assume that's pronounced Peep, even though those are 3s. I'm not hip to the internet lingo, but that's what we're going to call you, because Mr. P33P does not sound as good. But what we have here is this is a Demolisher inside of a Centurion, a Sonic Centurion, which is an interesting choice, Recon Mark II, and Hyperfire. Oh, good grief! This is wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm just soaking it in. I'm just soaking it in. Okay. Oh, update. Spectrum on the inside. Okay. Did I miss that? Oh, okay. So the interesting. I'm seeing where the rails were taken off of the retaliator barrel, so it gives it more of a actual like barrel shroud look without a bunch of other fluff on there. Gosh. Every time I see another Centurion integration where it's bobbed off like that, it makes me want to build another one. But yeah, in fact, Grim keeps cranking out Centurion Strife and other thing integrations. It's like, oh, I want to make another one, but I've made like so many so far, and I need to do something else. I need to do anything, honestly, at this point. But I'm liking the handguard where it fits in here. The handguard here, for some reason, seems to fit the Centurion grip a little bit tighter than the actual Hyperfire grip. It just seems to be a bit less clunky looking, perhaps. Or maybe it's just the kind of boxy nature of what I assume is the Demolisher, question mark? Magwell? And then I like how the Demolisher Hamp grip fits right in here. That's looking good, looking good. The Mark III. Yeah, I think that was the Mark III. I had one of these integrated into the top of the Warthog, which is my Mastodon and a bunch of other things integrations. And it's like, seems to be like the best use. Cutting off the mounting hardware and integrating it, tucks it in a little bit tighter. And I just really like how the... I'm liking some lines here. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Yellow bit is from the Mark II slide. Oh, Mark II. Okay, see, this is looking orange on my end. So is that what this is here, or am I not seeing something else? And plans for an ammo counter too. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm nodding approvingly on my end here. Very good. Shaping up nicely. Very good. Very good. Centurion Strives are the new Stravens. You know, I am okay with that. I've come across very few Centurion Strifes or even just Centurion integrations. As far as I've done one with the Devil's Hand was a rapid strike inside, and I've seen Demolishers and stuff. They just make everything look good. Okay. Well, I'm just going to look at it one more time. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice. No socials anywhere. Okay. All right, Mr. Peep. Excellent. Moving on. Terran Steranius. We're going to assume I'm pronouncing that right now. Okay, this is an interesting one. I have to preface this a little bit. At the start of the competition, I believe it was just a few days before, he messaged me directly and said, "Can I make a sword?" And I said, "Well, basically, I can't say you can't, but I need some more explanation. I mean, a gun's not really a or a sword's not really a Nerf blaster." And I said, "Will it fire a dart?" And he says, "Well, the scabbard, sheath, is that the sword word? The thing where you put your sword so it don't cut you." That guy. He says, "That'll fire a dart." And I said, "You know what? I'll count it." And so he then sends me a picture of this, and I'm thinking, those are not Nerf blaster parts, making a beautiful hilt of a sword thing. But that's you got a long strike stock along the top, the actual butt pad here. That's what, Vulcan front end parts, and then I think more Vulcan here, question mark, and retaliator bits and just stuff. And it's like that just that yeah, yeah, wacky in a good way. And this is obviously built for not actual competitive nerfing use. This is more of a prop piece. So yes, this is not something you'd go up and hack your friends with out of fun. This is, I believe, a chunk of Lexan or plexiglass or something. Yeah. Very unexpected. When you approached me and said, "I want to make a sword," I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be kind of weird. But thank you for proving that my skepticism was misplaced. What? Dang it, Andrew. Whacky. Whack, as if to smite. Whacky. You're so fired. So yeah, and he insists that this will fire a dart. The sheath, scabbard, holster thing is supposed to fire a dart. We will see how that goes. I'm anxious to see how that how this checks out. So very interesting. Points for being totally off the rails as far as like, you know, this will be unparalleled. As far as I don't think there's gonna, now we're probably gonna have like 3 or 4 more people be like, "Hey, I can compete with a sword-looking thing," and you know what? Fine, bring it on. As long as you can fire a dart under, you know, conventional means, then let's see what you got. Dang it, Andrew got me twice. Glad we got that sorted. I'm moving on before we have to kick Andrew out. Ginger Snap Arms. Oh, yes, I didn't recognize the number or the name. That's right. This is going to be a handful. This is a pair of Rhino Fires and a whole lot of other things. I have a feeling this is going to be in Gestalt territory by the time it's done, but maybe these little bits will keep it keep the shell count down. Wow, yeah, yeah, and this is the was this the Super Drum V2 or whatever stock that sticks out and is now going to actually be a arm brace kind of thing. This is very impressive. I'm anxious to see how the drums fit together, or if you need to go like reversed 35s on either side, or just go straight mags or something. But Vinyl Fire, for crying out loud! I'm going to stop reading the chat, Andrew, and it's going to be your fault. But yeah, this is an impressive pile of blasters. I mean, I've got limited exposure to Rhino Fires, but I know they are not small. But this is going to be very impressive once it's all put together. Yeah, dang. And a tripod and this guy as well. I don't know if this part's going to be incorporated for stock type parts or additions, or if we're actually going to get a functional. I seem to recall he mentioned something in one of his posts, but I'm trying to keep all of the posts we've been getting straight, so I'm not giving false information. But this looks like a thermal hunter scope, and oh crap, what was this? Some kind of weird camera bits or something, if I remember right. So yeah, this is going to be a whole heap of a lot of fun, I'm sure. So there again, this is going to be another one to watch, for sure. Moving on to El Nerf O Loco. Scram. Oh shoot, did we not get the This is not loading, or did we not get these inputted? I am reaching out now to my assistant. Alex, did we miss this one? Gave no image. I would have swore we saw one. Shoot. Okay, if we have an image somewhere, then I'm sorry. I will after the stream, I'll do a little bit of digging and see what we can scare up. If you are handy and watching this or whatever, and want to meet me halfway and tell me what I got wrong, then we'll get this figured out, and we'll have something for you in the next stream. But I seem to recall, and I don't know why I don't. I seem to recall there was a picture associated with this at some point, but I do not have it right now, so I apologize. We'll move on to Collector Ken. Oh, we just did that. Collector Ken. White piece was a security camera. That's right. Awesome. Okay, so we have a Demolisher, Infamous, Centurion, and a Stampede. Tough to go wrong with any combination of these guys. There's yeah, there again, any one of these could be the main firing blaster. You know, 3/4 of these could be a stock donor. Any of these could utilize the front end bits or some of the real estate fancy greebly details and stuff. So yeah, I don't believe there's any detail, or no. I seem to recall in your email you mentioned kind of what the plan was, but I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But tons of potential. So we'll see how this works, or how this develops. JND0210 doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but we'll see what we got here. Stampede, Modulus, Big Bad Bow, Extreme Blastzuka. Okay, let's zoom this out a little bit. Womp. DMG Loco's entry on Discord. Okay, that's where I saw the picture. All right, gotcha. Thank you for clarifying. We'll get this updated. Okay, Stampede, Modulus, Big Bad Bow, Extreme Blastzuka. And no updated pictures here. I think we can assume, and there again, I feel like this email had a brief description attached to it. Modulus, Stampede stock, which is a good combination. I saw one of those recently that just kind of blew me away real quick, that it's like, well, how have I not seen this before, or just how well the shells fit together. Then Big Bad Bow and Extreme Blastzuka. XBZ is always a welcome addition to any integration because those things pack a little punch. So we'll see how this goes. Bonk. Cameric, who just got his entry in late this afternoon, I recall. Or no, did we see this one already? Wait a minute. Didn't we talk about this? I'm getting an update now. Hang on a second. Let's back out real quick. Locos. If you're updating it now, we'll jump back in. I'll give you a few minutes, actually. Is this in the right slot? Did we talk about this one already? Or is that something else? I'm very confused now. I've been looking at a lot of blasters lately, and... Huh. But yeah, the Straven, side load, long shot, mediator thing. Oh, we're good? Okay, let's back out real quick. Go to Nerfa Loco. Ding. There we are. Okay, so we got a zombie long shot. Apollo, Centurion, always a good choice, and Fortress. That's one of those chain guys. Is that chain guy or is that a cylinder guy? I can't remember. One of the new X-Shot blasters. Okay. So. Excellent. Okay, that makes me feel a whole lot better having, because like I would have swore we had a picture tied to it. So that's there we are. There we are. Check this real quick. Okay, that's Cameric. Why do I feel like we looked at this already? I'm very confused now. Did we talk about it, or did I just look at it earlier? Sorry about that. I'm afraid I'm losing my mind. Saw Cameric's in basic. Okay, timeout. Let's go over here. Oh, that might have been in the... Okay, so we saw that at first, and that was probably in during the update, correct? When things updated and we kind of jumped back in and... Okay. Well, glad I'm not crazy. Okay, 30. Got... Okay. So... Final class, Gestalt class. 6 or more blasters. This is going to be the heavy hitters. So we'll start at the top. I did talk about it. Yes, thank you. Whew. All right. Vile mods. Vile does live streams periodically. In fact, we'll just pull it up here. Boom. Twitch. Yeah, streams periodically, posts his links in the Discord, the MergeMasters Discord quite often, and worth a watch. Always some pretty interesting stuff that comes off his bench. So we've got there's a lot going on here. Okay, so we've got the Codebreaker, the Fearless Fire, that Fortnite shotgunny thing, Modulus was it the Tri-Strike launcher thing, Praxis stock, Raider, except the little heart-themed bow or whatever, Rebel bow, Barricade, Rapid Red, that thing. Yeah, a lot going on. Oh gosh, that's a long blaster. So let's stock off the Saturn ? The rival pump-action rifle-y guy. Looks like Fearless Fire body that kind of rolls seamlessly almost into the Rapid Red dual-staged Guardian crossbow. Thank you very much. Thank you, Iron Gopher. Pump grip here for a foregrip. Barrel thing out of... gosh, I can't remember. Looks familiar, but I can't place it. And this... Okay, so this is just a muzzle brake barrel-y thing. Okay, so yeah, we got a whole lot of length here going on. It's going to be a dual stage and cylinder fed. So that's going to be interesting combination. Definitely paths that have not been trod before. So yeah, very Ultra Strike. Oh, gotcha. There we go. Okay, I was going to say it looked a bit edgy, detail-wise, aesthetically. So okay, Ultra. That explains it. So yeah, looking at some of these, obviously this is the most updated picture we currently have, but yeah, not seeing Praxis bits or Raider bits or the Guardian bits yet, but that may change rapidly. Hard to say if there's already a plan in place for these or if some of them were just kind of sprinkled in as ideas, because as we all know, you can walk in with the most straightforward idea and a plan of attack, and a project kind of takes on a life of its own, and there's not much you can do about it, but let it become what it wants to become. Iron Gopher. Boop. So we've got a old Ertl pump-action shotgun, a PAS. Take down the drone thing. Was that the Terra drone? Magnus Raptor Strike. Twin Shock. Another Raptor Strike. Double Breach and a Nemesis? Yeah. Yeah, looks like that's the updated picture. Yeah, a lot going on there. That, like so many, we can go in a million different directions with this. Terra Scout, thank you. The Terra Drone was the stupid spider walkie one, wasn't it? Yeah, looking at a pile of blasters like this, you know that the creator has a picture in mind, and it's hard to get in the same headspace and say, you know, they might be looking and saying, well, the takedown is here just for the grip, or just for this grip, or just for this rail, or just for this here. But it stimulates the imagination into considering all of the variables that each of these blasters could contribute. So yeah, and Iron Gopher, didn't post your socials. You're on Instagram, I believe, at the very least, because I've seen your stuff posted in a few places, as I recall. Definitely a space to watch. If you're familiar with his work, pretty crazy in a good way. Yeah, Iron Gopher, you may have posted the updated picture, because I would have swore I saw something, but it might have been in the Discord, and It's I'll be honest, it's kind of hard to keep up with the updates and stuff in the Discord, and so we were just oh, but you just added it from the Discord. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with the Discord part of things, and so I'm trying to keep the submission emails as the main source for pictures and things, just to make it easier to sort and keep track of on our end, which sounds kind of petty and like, make it easy for us, but it's... There again, this rapidly became far more overwhelming than I expected it to be. Wah! Yeah. Okay, so... Nemesis bits, Terra Scout, Magnus is the functional guy, Takedown Grip, and another Raptor Strike up here. That's going to be functional question mark? Have you looked through the hashtag? The hashtag thing is not working the way I wanted it to, which kind of irritates me. Like, using the Instagram, it'll pull up, like, 3. Last time I checked, it pulled up 6, I think, but they were, like, all mine. And it's like, I've seen more people using that, but it just won't actually pull that through the regular Instagram thing, and so I had to go through that. I believe it was you that sent me the link that I actually need to update, and I should probably just post that in a few spots to make it accessible for people, just so the information is easier to find. So, in fact, I'll reach out. I'll give that to Alex, and we can add that to our list of things that we're sharing around. Fingers crossed it'll be 3 functional barrels and ammo types. Good grief. Okay, so I assume that's going to stay Mega, and this thing is going to keep firing, I assume, regular darts, and then you get... Okay, it's, yeah, that's, bonkers. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. This is a whole lot of at just a glance, it's like, oh, that can't be that big, until you consider the Alpha Hawk is like 6.5 feet long, and the Nemesis is about the size of a 50-gallon barrel, and so this is going to be a monster blaster. Full length Mega and Mega XL. Okay, jeez, that's dang. So that's it's going to be very HVZ friendly, I suppose. Okay, yeah, that's going to be pretty intense. That's I'm anxious to see how that shapes up. Caster posted updated pics. Where is that something I need to refresh somewhere? Or is that just in the Discord, or what? If you could help me out, update me on that. Back out. Grim Reaper 2458, going by Grim currently, as of this this stream. This is an exciting one. So we've got a little pieces of Centurion, pieces of Longshot front gun, pieces of... Is that the Alpha Hawk, or is that the... Yeah, that's the Alpha Hawk, I believe. Raven, Hyperfire, a little bit of Rapid Strike there, Cyclone Shock, Rough Cut, Halo thingy, and Zeus. And it turns into that. Just gonna let everybody just kind of soak in on that for a little bit. Need to refresh. Okay, I'm refreshing. Who do I need to go talk to, or who do I need to go look at to refresh? Alex. So yeah, this here almost needs a video in itself to explain what's going on. So we'll just have kind of a moment of silence to just like I said, just soak this in for a little bit. Interesting little details from the, I believe that's off the Vulcan. It's off a Sledgefire, rough cut, long shot front gun, Zeus stock, part of a Maverick slide, Rapid Strike, Hyperfire hand grip, Mediator, little shotgun thing, MA40 front end, a little bit of a Magnus there, a little bit of the Alpha Hawk. I think that's Hyperfire and strong arm slide, and who knows what else going on in there that's hiding. And like here, I believe this is the side that has the rail on the Raven, which has always kind of bothered me. But this is a nice way to fill that gap and give a little extra greebly details all at the same time. And there again, using this part of these Centurion little side plates on the front end that just kind of helps, bring this line all the way through, kind of ties this piece to that piece a little bit, makes up for the lack of battery door bump here, since the battery, I assume, is going to be in the stock still, using the Zeus part. But yeah, there's no wasted space, no aesthetic dead space anywhere. It's not too busy either. Just a whole lot going on here, and it's all good. Let's back out just a little bit. Back out some more. Battery will be in the stock, confirmed. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so if you're one of the people that does not like how lopsided and asymmetrical the Raven is because of the battery bump, well, just eliminate the whole problem altogether and make it look a heck of a lot better in the process. In fact, I think the only thing that's asymmetrical about it now is just the motor bump, which you can't really do too much about, except for, disguise it a little bit. So, very nice, very good looking piece of work. Bork. Going to end up with Bork. Okay. Well, I think we're about done here. So, as we witnessed live this evening, this is a living document, so to speak, and will be updated as information comes in, or as nearly soon as we can. We had updates. Naptown mentioned he's going to have an update video on Sunday, he said, and so I assume that we'll get an update picture from him that'll be updated as soon as we can. Just as this information is coming in via email, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of posts that are updated on Instagram and in the Discord as well, but it's easier to track for us if we have one source that the information comes from, so we're able to track which ones have been updated, which ones have not been updated, instead of looking and saying, oh, we saw it here, but did it get updated? Now we have to pull up the thing and go through it. It's just, it makes it easier to track for us and keep it organized. If we go through the through the email source, which is mergemasterscomp@gmail.com, which I don't think it's in the description of this stream, but I can go ahead and add it after the fact. But also, if you've already made a submission and you were just updating, go ahead and leave it in the same email chain, the same thread. That way, it's easy to track, and we can it's just easier to manage on our end to have all the information as compiled as possible already. So, do we have any questions as far as rules or considerations or any concerns or anything like that? I promised myself I'd keep it under 2 hours, and so we have 10 minutes left. We can go ahead and end early if you'd like to, but just want to open it up a little bit. We have 25 people still hanging on. Thank you for hanging on and being patient through some of the weirdness that's been going on. But yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, things you'd like to have clarified right away while it's handy, then yeah, go ahead and throw it in the chat, and we can chat it out in the next few minutes. Give everybody a chance, give the chat a chance to catch up a little bit, the stream delay and all things considered. Alex, thank you for posting the email link, mergemasterscomp@gmail.com. That is in the chat. Like I said, I'll go ahead and update that in the description so people watching this after the fact have access to it for quick reference. Already spreading the word. Awesome. Thank you, Iron Gopher. How important... Oh, Blasterfactorum. Hey, been a while since I've talked with you a little bit. Glad to see you show up. How important is the name and lower parts of an entry? A name is nice just because it makes it a little easier to track and kind of gives the blaster itself a identity. If you don't have a name, that's fine. It can just be named MergeMasters entry. It just there again keeps it easier to keep track of a little bit. Not necessary by any stretch of the imagination. The lore was just a concern that was brought up by one entry that said, "Hey, can we add lore? Is that going to be included in the compiled information?" And so we just went ahead and made a spot for it. The lore, quote-unquote, part of the entry is basically just the background of the blaster itself, as far as features, details, things that you would add in a description if you were featuring it, because through pictures you can only determine, oh, that looks like a this merged with a this with a this with a that, but basically the that part of the entry is for filling in the gaps. You know, this is one of these that has this super special way that I merged this, and it's got these internals, and it did this. And if you want to add any background to what your mindset was, if you want to put it in story form, you can. Some people wanted to actually add a canonical, like a fictional backstory or whatever, and that's totally cool too. Basically, that section of the entry in the spreadsheet is just to fill in whatever kind of background you want to put in there. Any kind of information that's not the pictorial details. And Blue Wolf Nerf, yes, you were the weirdness, as usual. And to reiterate, as was mentioned at the first of the stream tonight, for people that are just joining in the last end of things, we're planning on doing this like every 2 weeks or so. roughly. I mean, if there's really nothing, no new updates during the course of the next 2 weeks, we might push it to a third week. If there's a whole lot of stuff worth mentioning, we might go ahead and bump it up and do like a week and a half, or maybe next week or something. It just depends on what the face of the competition looks like. If there's a lot to talk about, then we might do it sooner. If there's nothing really to talk about, we'll push it a little bit later. But I'm aiming for every 2 weeks. That way there's some kind of update for people that don't want to sit there and try to track all the social medias and keep updated on what's going on, but also don't want to just say, okay, the competition started, and then in 3 months, just boom, here's all this completed stuff. People will want to see things as they're updated, watch the natural progression of the competition. Cats promoted the competition a little more in my Instagram story. Awesome, thank you so much. It's I'm trying to spread it a little bit, but I'm not as interconnected within the community and abroad as I used to be. So I've been trying to promote it through my own socials, but everybody else, if you want to, share it on your own and try to get a little bit more excitement. Like I've said many times already, this has already blown up far larger than I expected, but it wouldn't bother me that much if it kept growing. It's kind of an exciting, interactive, community bonding kind of competition thing where, kind of like you've all been doing in the chat, kind of, promoting each other and being like, wow, that looks really cool, and just, kicking ideas around and stuff like that. That's what the competition is ultimately about. Can we get a link to a spreadsheet in the Discord? Alex, thanks for jumping on that right away. I assume, we'll go ahead and have that as a pinned. If you haven't already, go ahead and just pin it in general with all the other rules and stuff and all that information, just so everything's kind of roughly in the same place. And here on our way out, when originally conceived and advertised, the only awards or prizes that would be awarded at the conclusion of the competition was basically special roles within the Discord server and street cred and bragging rights and etc. But we do have an actual prize donation so far. Donated by our very own Iron Gopher, who is also a contender in Gestalt so far, but has offered, and I will be posting this weekend, hopefully, on my social media stuff, pictures and everything, but whoa, hey, sorry. Hi. You can't sit under the chair, man. Sit under the chair, silly. A pair of customized snipping tools that have a much better biting angle, are designed to cut flusher, and are actually very nice, cut very clean and very nice. Like I said, I'll go ahead and post some pictures this weekend of kind of what they are, because it's kind of hard to explain. But they're basically end flush cutters, a large set and a small set for nipping, which is, honestly, the ones I had were one of my favorite tools for doing integration work. But they broke a couple months ago, and I've just not had a chance to replace them because I've not been doing that much mod work recently. But these here, it's like a good set of tools goes a long way in just the, let's say, the mental satisfaction and excitement of working. So, he has offered a customized set of tools for each first place winner in each category. So that's 3 sets for each first place entry in each class. There'll be more information on that later, but hey. Yes. Grim Reaper. Yes. Gopher Teeth, which was funny because when he first shared the idea and said, hey, I want to donate these, I was like, hey, that's funny. Or that's a really cool tool, that'd be great. And then I was looking at him like, you could call them like Gopher Teeth or something like that. And then he sends me a set of trial ones basically, and then they're actually called Gopher Teeth, and then I felt less creative. But very nice little tools. And so basically, if you win first place, you get tools that will help you make better stuff in the future, which is really cool. Kind of a cyclical thing. So having almost to give you an advantage in the next competition. And we also have potentially more prizes in the future. I can't say more yet because that'll be announced later. And this is just within the first 2 weeks, so we don't know what might crop up later as the competition progresses. So it is officially, on my end, 8:59, so we will go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much. We had like almost 30 people at once, which I think is a record for one of my streams. We managed to maintain about 15 or so at least through most of it, even though a lot of this was probably boring and just rife with weird technological issues and things. These streams will get better as the technology gets better. We will be streaming on, simulcasting, is that a word still? On Twitch next time, which will be in about 2 weeks, give or take. Maybe the user interface and what you will be seeing will be better. I can't promise that, but I can always hope. And, we'll go ahead and just probably won't cover everybody next time. We'll just cover the main updates. We might breeze through things kind of quick. I'm not sure. We will see how things go. But we will definitely see you all next time. Thanks again for everybody who came in, for all of you who came in from the very beginning and lasted. Excellent. Thank you very much for your patience. And to everybody else, good luck, good night, and we'll see you next time.